Coming up on News 20 at 5, the Carolina wildfires have prompted a state of emergency as fires have affected over 1,000 acres of land.
And the aftermath of Ukrainian president's intense sit-down with President Trump.
You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Plus, the Oscars left fans holding space and defying gravity. Find out who took home the gold.
And FAMU men's basketball gears up for their final home game against Jackson State.
We'll have all that and more. News 20 at 5 starts now.
Live from Florida A&M University on the highest of 7 hills in the capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning FAMU TV 20 News.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in to News 20 at 5. I'm Kaitlyn Walsh.
And I'm Antoine. Firefighters in North and South Carolina have worked to contain more than 170 wildfires, which have prompted evacuations.
Yes, the North Florida Caroline Forest Service reported more than 200 wildfires across the state on Monday. However, most of the wildfires were small in size and weren't damaging any buildings.
Yes, but the area near Myrtle Beach is one of the most dangerous for wildfires in South Carolina, as hundreds of years of decomposing vegetation creates peat, which when it dries out can burn for a long time.
This county, this area that hit is one of the hardest hit by Helene. The whole county was hit, but this area that we're in with this fire up here was one of the worst areas impacted by Helene. So they're still in the midst of cleaning up. We still have damage to structures. We still have people trying to get their lives back together. Now we have this. So it's heartbreaking for us as emergency responders for these folks. It's still trying to get their lives back together.
Dry air combined with dry vegetation due to lack of recent rainfall are keeping the wildfire dangers high across the Carolinas and northeast Georgia. Officials say lighter winds will continue through Tuesday as temperatures warm to close to 70 degrees and more humid air returns to the region.
More than 888 employees at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, have been fired. This is part of the Trump administration's larger effort to cut federal jobs. NOAA is responsible for weather forecasting, tracking hurricanes, and studying climate change and warnings of potential natural disasters coming our way. There are concerns these job cuts could leave the United States unprepared for severe storms and disasters.
You're going to be impacted by this. A ton of people got fired. That's basically going to lead to a short-staffed agency that was already short-staffed, now trying to do more with less. And that is just asking for a disaster to happen. Agency to basically try and forecast these, make the public aware of the impacts, but do it with less people. You're just asking for a mistake to happen. You're asking for burnout to occur. And it's just pointless when you look at the importance of what NOAA does.
Making the National Weather Service private is one of the most controversial proposals in Project 2025. If implemented, Americans could have to pay for weather forecasts, which are currently free to access.
Florida Power and Light has proposed rate increases that would affect residential and business customers. If approved, the average residential customer's monthly bill could rise by approximately $8.50 over the next 2 years. FPL states that the additional revenue is necessary to support infrastructure improvements and maintain reliable service. The Florida Public Service Commission will review the proposal, and public hearings are scheduled to allow customers to voice their opinions before the final decision is made. It's time to ease on down that Thomasville Road. The Midtown section will be redesigned. According to the Florida Department of Transportation, the city of Tallahassee will redo the section of Thomasville Road that goes through Midtown. Changes include taking the center turn lane, adding a stormwater system, a renovated sidewalk, and redoing some traffic signals. The redesign project is anticipated to last for about 2 years.
Skin and bones, infections, and little access to clean food and water. A Florida woman is facing felony animal cruelty charges, and deputies seized 3 horses from her property. Haley Crumblehome has more.
Go ahead and turn around for me.
Deputies arrested Twyla Guzman in Volusia County this week after seizing 2 horses and a pony from her. The sheriff's office said they got a complaint about a thin horse in December of 2024 and shared this body-worn camera footage from their first visit to Guzman's property, where you can see a horse with its bones visible.
They were very, very shocking. pictures and video from what I saw.
That's how Jordan Huntley, who owns a horse farm in Ormond Beach, reacted to seeing the videos the sheriff's office shared.
Seeing one that skinny is just very sad.
The sheriff's office said a horse named Cash, one named Marshmallow, and a pony named Candy were not receiving proper care from Guzman. According to one of the reports, Cash and Candy's spine, hip, and rib bones were visible. The report says a veterinarian that examined the animals stated that Cash was in extremely poor condition and that his hooves were horrific with multiple abscesses. And the report described his life expectancy as grim. The report says Guzman elected not to surrender her animals to the sheriff's office ahead of a hearing this week. The animals were ultimately seized and taken to a rescue facility.
As soon as the deputy can come over here and transport for you, then we'll get you out of here, okay?
Guzman was booked into the Volusia County Jail Thursday and bonded out Friday.
Guzman's family says she is innocent of the charges against her. According to court documents, she's due in court later this month. Coming up on News 20 at 5, new tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada go into effect tonight. What this means for the cost of goods when we come back.
Plus, the aftermath of the fallout between President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.